Welcome back to Telltale. I'm Emily.
I'm Greg.
And we are back at Blackheart Books, who has been lovely enough to host us today as we shoot another video. And we're doing another H.P. Lovecraft. My least favorite one. Anyway. Here we go. The Nameless City by H.P. Lovecraft. Take it away, Greg.
And this is the 23rd published work by H.P. Lovecraft, published in November of 1921.
Still in 1921.
Yes, and it was published in a publication called The Wolverine. It was issue number 11. And this is one of the Cthulhu Mythos stories.
Yep.
But it is only a short story, so not terribly long.
No, it is a very quick read, even quicker if you really hate alligators and crocodiles like I do. I'll get into that in a minute.
And the interesting thing is we're still not, at this point in Lovecraft's career, we've covered a number of his best-known stories even, and Weird Tales wasn't even on the radar yet.
Yeah.
He's so associated with Weird Tales, but Weird Tales wasn't even being published at this time.
Yeah. So you ready for a synopsis? Okay. So this guy's out in the desert, right? And he was told by these people that there is a nameless city that's kind of the ruins of which are out in the desert. So it's about a gentleman who has traveled into the desert, and he was told by some locals that there is a nameless city whose ruins that the locals tend to avoid because it is cursed and it's awful and very scary, and they especially avoid it in the dark of night.
Yeah.
So he decides, like all stupid white boys do, that he's gonna go on his camel and head out into the desert and go and explore these ruins and do drawings of them and start recording them in his travels. And so while he's there is a particular night under the full moon where he feels a very unusual direct wind coming from one of the basically cavernous buildings of this city. And there's a lot of unusual things already about this city. The ceilings are really low. It's as if people had to crawl through the buildings and that sort of thing. So he's just remarking that this is all very strange, and when he feels this wind coming from this cavern, he goes and crawls in there. And as he's walking, he's seeing hieroglyphics and depictions of a history of these people, but he notices that the people are not humanoid as they're depicted. They're depicted as these kind of like crocodilian creatures, which I hate. Anyway, we'll get more into that in a minute. Anyway, so as he goes deeper and deeper, he actually finds the sarcophagi of all of these beings, and then the building ends into this deep, dark, unknown cavern and has this gate by it. And so as he's kind of sitting here pondering everything he just saw, the history of these people basically in hieroglyphs and stuff, he realizes that they actually aren't people. That the sarcophagi of these reptiles are actually the beings. And then, in one very huge gust of wind, they all come to life and slither down into this nameless pit. It freaks him out. He runs away, never to return again. End of story. Ew. I hate this one so much.
Do you know how you know the guy's lying?
You don't?
Yeah, you do.
What?
Because it's a crock.
That was so bad. You're putting it in the dad jar. The dad joke jar. Gotta put a quarter in it.
Okay.
Anyway. So, I have a huge phobia of alligators, so I really hate this story. And that stems from when I was younger. I used to have tons of nightmares about alligators after I saw Peter Pan. Chasing me, having to fight them, having to wrestle them and stuff. And for the longest time, these nightmares have plagued me. And then, of course, when I got a little bit...
You have an issue with ticking watches?
Yeah, that too. Always a signal of when the alligator's about to appear in my dream, actually. So this is a very deep-seated trauma for me. And then when I was like maybe 13 or something, we were in Florida and my parents decided to take me to the alligator farm with my brothers. And the entire time, I'm just like, I have never wanted to not be somewhere so badly. And I'm like having panic attacks. really bad stomach aches, like had to keep going to the bathroom and like dry heaving because I was so nervous about being around these animals and stuff. And so I just really hate crocodiles and alligators because of these nightmares that have plagued me my whole life. Interesting fact, I later looked up what having crocodiles in your dream means. It turns out it's failing health. Oh. And I had these dreams prior to my diagnosis for type 1 diabetes in most of my childhood. So it's kind of interesting how the brain decides to take symbolisms from everyday life and actually make them relevant to you. So that was an interesting little tidbit that I figured out, but still gave me no comfort. Because I hate alligators and crocodiles especially. So this one, when I first read it, I had nightmares then. I read it again for the sake of this video to refresh myself and still had nightmares. And we'll probably have nightmares tonight.
Okay. We're just reading all kinds of books that are affecting her.
I
getting
hate
vertigo
story.
off of House of Leaves. Now
Now
Crocodiles in Nameless City. Coming up is Southern Book Club with sexual assault.
Now we're just going to have a great time. It's going to be a great
She's not going to be able to read anything after
2025
March.
is the year I break. Just not going to be able to hold it together
Look forward
anymore.
to Tarzan.
I actually do. Very much so.
I think I have those two.
So,
yeah.
Practice your Tarzan yell.
Just gonna listen to Tarzan Boy the whole time. But yeah, so I don't like this story. It's not a top tale for me, but it is only because of that bias and the trauma that I experienced with that. Otherwise, there's really no good reason why it shouldn't be liked. It's an interesting story.
I didn't have any of the same issues. It's a good story. It's an interesting story. I feel it's, at this point Lovecraft had done a couple of previous stories about these lost cities. And so it's kind of becoming a little cliche, and I don't feel he did enough with this, especially where he sees these things, they run away, he runs away, nobody gets killed. I mean,
it's just kind of like anticlimactic.
If we could have had at least one dismemberment here, it would have made the story
he
a lot
lost
better.
a leg or something. Give me more trauma. Thanks.
It's just, it just was kind of a light story, even for Lovecraft.
Yeah.
And short, and could have been more. I wanted more from it.
Yeah.
And didn't get it.
Yeah.
So I liked it, and I would recommend it as part of the whole Cthulhu Mythos. If you want to read Cthulhu Mythos, don't forget to include this one. But it's not. I don't think it's the best.
Yeah, I wouldn't put this on a top tale, even if I try to eliminate my biases. It is just kind of a very bland, plain Lovecraft story, which is kind of interesting because now The Tree and this have both been kind of plain, bland Lovecraft stories. But still interesting that it's in the Cthulhu Mythos. So if you're looking to read the entirety of that series, it is extremely accessible.
Yes, and you can get this book. This is a currently available book. You can find it in bookstores like Blackheart Books, which we are saying. I don't know if they actually have it in the store, but they could order it.
Yep, and they are on bookshops.org, so if you want to support Blackheart Books on bookshops.org, you are welcome to do that, and you can get access to this work in particular. That's a really pretty book. It has great annotations and other things within.
It's an excellent book. It's my favorite Lovecraft book. I just wish, there's 2 volumes of these. There's the new annotated H.P. Lovecraft, which is all Cthulhu Mythos, and then the new annotated Beyond Arkham, which is all the non-Cthulhu Mythos, except it's not all of Lovecraft
Yeah, it's
stories.
not the complete works, it's the selected.
It's like more like best of, but there's a lot in it. There's a lot of cool stuff in it, and there's just so much cool side information in the annotations. They're wonderful books.
Yeah, and of course it's still extremely accessible. I believe I ordered my complete works of H.P. Lovecraft on Kindle through Amazon. It's extremely accessible to get your hands on those work. You can also get ebooks on bookshops.org if you still want to support Blackheart Books, who has been so lovely to us. We love coming here and supporting them, so if you can too, we'd really appreciate it. So, very accessible. It's a great work.
And
What's
so,
the next one?
the next one is a major one, Herbert West Reanimator.
Ooh, that is
That's
a pretty
coming
big
up.
one. And that's
Yes.
kind of like a chapter, almost novelette one, right? Or am I thinking of the wrong one?
I don't know.
I feel
Yeah,
there's-
it's a novelette.
Yeah, because there's like three primary novelettes that I feel Lovecraft had in his complete works, and this was one of them.
Yeah, and it's Herbert West Reanimator next. The one after that is the music of Eric Son. So we got some really awesome
Yeah, we have
Lovecraft
some really
coming up.
cool ones coming up that I really enjoyed. So excited for those.
And so definitely join us for those. Leave your comments about the Nameless City in the comment section of the video.
Do you have crocodile and alligator trauma from Peter Pan? Let me
Give
know.
us your favorite
I don't wanna be
crocodile
alone.
trauma stories.
Yeah, trauma dump with us. It's fine. This is just
Any
free
kind
therapy.
of crocodile jokes.
Oh, kill me. Kill me. Anyway.
And yeah, come on back for that and all the other stuff we do on Telltale Books.
So thanks for joining us, guys. We will see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.